Hello students. Yesterday we have seen what is simple harmonic motion, what is free oscillation, and also we have seen the equation for simple harmonic motion. It means that if there is any oscillatory motion which is harmonic, means a case where we use the trigonometrical function to describe the position of the particle. So with the help of that trigonometrical function, if we are describing the oscillatory motion, so that are known as harmonic oscillation. And as I have told you that simple harmonic motion is that case in which we consider the examples of free oscillations. Means in such types of oscillation there is no resisting force, no retarding force which can retard the motion. So if we displace such types of particle once, then for infinite time it will oscillate with same amplitude, and obviously its time period will be constant, and obviously time period that will be infinite. So in such types of motions we obtain the formula for if we are taking the harmonic oscillation and we are taking the free oscillation. So I have derived a formula yesterday, and that formula is y is equal to a sin omega t plus phi, or you can write a cos omega t plus phi. Phi can have value 0, positive or negative. As I told you, the phase in case of different directions, and also suppose if phi can be 0 when motion starts from the origin, phi can be positive if it has some amplitude at the instant of starting time, and if phi can be negative if there is some displacement or it has some obviously amplitude while starting the motion in the negative direction. So according to the displacement, according to the lapse or add problem, it can have positive, negative or 0 phases. So with the help of that, here can be positive, negative or 0, so don't be confused with that. So this is the simple harmonic motion equation, and now this represent the displacement of simple harmonic motion. Means at any instant t, suppose if wave has phase phi and omega angular frequency, a amplitude, then at any instant t this will cover a displacement y in the direction of displacement force. So if we obviously if we apply some external force to displace it, then what will be the displacement due to that? And if we want to calculate, suppose that there is any oscillating particle, if particle is oscillating at any instant t, if we want to calculate its displacement, then with this equation we can calculate it. It means that now we are able to calculate able to know about its position. So if we know about its position already, phi gives its direction, then obviously we can tell everything about the motion of the particle, like what will be the velocity and other cases. So for simplicity, here I am taking only the equation a sin omega t. Okay. Now with the help of this, we can easily calculate what will be the velocity, what will be the acceleration, what will be the energy in the any oscillatory motion or vibratory motion. So start from first thing, this is the displacement, and the second thing, that is the case of velocity. So what will be the velocity with which a particle is executing oscillatory motion or vibratory motion? So obviously you know that velocity is given by rate of change of displacement. Means with which rate displacement is changing, that is the velocity of the particle, and obviously you can calculate it easily with the help of this formula. So from here we obtain a omega sin a omega cos omega t. Clear? And also you can put here, from here we are calculating the value of sin omega t. So what is the value of sin omega t? That is y by a. And we can also calculate cos omega t with the help of this So cos omega t can be written as under root 1 minus sin square omega t. So with the help of it, we obtain 1 minus y square by a square. So in place of cos omega t, we can put this value, as we want to actually calculate the velocity or displacement in values on known way. So that's why we are just neglecting the trigonometrical functions here to reduce our complications, because we can easily calculate these values. So that's why we are converting it into this. So in place of cos omega t, you can put here a omega 1 minus y square by a square. After solving this, you can take the LCM of this, and after solving, a will be cancelled out. Finally, we will get a square minus y square. So this is the velocity of any particle which is executing simple harmonic motion. Means with this velocity, the particle is executing simple harmonic motion at any instant t. So we can calculate it, and obviously if y will be constant, then this value will be constant, because amplitude is constant in simple harmonic motion, angular frequency is constant, so definitely it will depends on the value of displacement, means at which displacement we want to calculate this velocity. Suppose we are calculating it at the end point, means if this is the any bob that is executing simple harmonic motion, so these are the end points of this this motion. So this is the amplitude A, means maximum displacement which is possible in this system of oscillation. So after this point, it will return to its equilibrium position, its mean position. So definitely there will be velocity will be 0 here. So at this point, as y is equal to a, obviously if you put y equal to a, then we will get velocity 0. So simple velocity of simple harmonic motion is 0 at the extreme points, and at center point here the displacement is 0. So if we put y is equal to 0, we obtain a omega, that is the maximum value obtained in this case. So this is the maximum value. So we can say that at the equilibrium position, at the mean position, the velocity of the particle which is executing simple harmonic motion has the maximum velocity. So that's why particle cannot ever stop at the equilibrium position or mean position, as its velocity is maximum here. Means if we talk in terms of kinetic and potential energy, so here the energy will be totally kinetic, no potential energy will be here, means there is no possibility to come to the particle to at rest here. So this is the case, ideal case, in which if we once displace the particle which is executing simple harmonic motion, then it will never return to its equilibrium position again. It will always vibrate, always oscillate, and it will oscillate for infinite times until we apply again any external force to stop it or any external force to retard it. Okay, so we can easily calculate it with the help of this value. Now we can calculate acceleration of the system. The system is velocity changing, as you are seeing that here velocity is 0, here velocity is maximum, and at time with time velocity is changing, and if velocity is changing with time, then definitely you can say that there is an acceleration in that motion. So what will be the acceleration in this case? We can calculate that acceleration will be equal to, as you know that if we differentiate this values twice, then we obtain the acceleration of the particle, or also we can obtain it with the help of velocity. If rate of change of velocity, that is called acceleration. So what will be the value of acceleration? This will be dv by dt, and we have seen that the value of v in terms of t, that is a omega cos omega t. This is still we have obtained it previously. So if we solve it again, then we obtain minus a omega square sine omega t. Clear? Again we will get a constant omega here, and cos, the differentiation of cos is minus sine. So with the help of this equation differentiation, we can easily obtain what will be the acceleration in this case. And finally you can put in place of a omega t, we can put it y. So this value will be minus y omega square. So what will be the acceleration in the case of simple harmonic motion? That is, if we talk in magnitude, its value is omega square y. That again it depends on the displacement of the oscillating particles. Means if displacement will change, then with change in displacement there will be change in acceleration of the particle. And also this minus sign tells us that the direction of acceleration is always towards the center. Means here we are displacing this particle in this direction, means we are applying a force in this direction, but its acceleration is working in the opposite direction. Means it will always try to bring it in its equilibrium position again in its stable condition. So that's why here the minus sign shows that it is in the opposite direction to the applied force. So I think what is the acceleration, that is clear to you. Again we can obtain what will be the acceleration at extreme points or at the center point or equilibrium position. So at equilibrium position, as y is equal to 0, displacement is 0. So from this equation we can say that acceleration at that point, that is 0. And at the extreme positions where y is equal to a, the acceleration is obtained, that is minus a omega square. At this position, if you calculate the magnitude of acceleration, that is maximum. Means after this, after the extreme position, particle will always feel a greater acceleration. Means it will try to return to its equilibrium position after that point. So maximum displacement can be possible in the system, that is equal to the amplitude of the system. Obviously after the amplitude, due to its greater acceleration, it will return to its equilibrium position, and acceleration at the equilibrium position, that is 0, and here the velocity is maximum. So in simple harmonic motion, you can compare, you can calculate what will be the values of different factors. Means how can we understand the oscillatory motion, like we have studied the case of translatory motion, rotatory motion, and in that case we have seen that there is some formula for displacement, and we obtained velocity, acceleration according to that. Like in translation we have obtained linear velocity, linear acceleration. In case of rotation we obtained angular velocity, angular acceleration. Like in this portion we have already just calculated velocity and acceleration in case of simple harmonic motion. Also we can calculate what will be the value of amplitude. So as you know that amplitude is that displacement. Means simple in one word, amplitude is the maximum possible displacement. So it is the distance which is maximum in the any oscillatory motion. So if we see this equation, then in this if we have to calculate the maximum displacement, then we have to take the value of sine or cos omega t, that should be maximum. So as you know that the value of cos or sine, so maximum value of cos or sine is +1. So after putting this, we can calculate what will be the value of amplitude. So this value of amplitude is equal to a. Means this is the maximum distance that is possible, maximum displacement that is possible in the clear. Means in this equation, this factor represent the amplitude of the motion. I just wanted to tell you. Next section is that we have calculated velocity, we have calculated acceleration, we have calculated what is displacement and amplitude. Then we can calculate also time period and frequency of oscillation. So what is the time period of the oscillation? Time period or frequency of the oscillation. So we had already equation that is the for acceleration. So as we obtain acceleration, that is equal to omega square by, leave the minus sign here because minus sign only denotes the direction of acceleration, so that's why in magnitude we can neglect that. So here we can obtain from this omega is equal to acceleration on displacement here, and also this is the angular frequency of the oscillation. Means if we have knowledge about the acceleration and displacement of the particle, then we can calculate what will be its angular frequency, and also if we know the angular frequency, we can calculate what will be its frequency, that is equal to 2, and is equal to acceleration upon displacement. So in this case we can write finally what will be the value of n, that will be root 2 pi acceleration upon displacement. So this is the frequency of the oscillation. From this we can easily calculate what will be the frequency of the oscillation. Also we have obtained equation for that, that was omega is equal to root k by m. If we know about the force constant k, then we can also calculate this value with the help of this equation, and if we know that, then we can calculate frequency. We have to only divide it by 2 pi, and with the help of it we can calculate the frequency of the oscillation. So if we are using a string, we are using any spring for the displacement for the oscillatory motion, then in that case if there is the concept of force constant, so we can use this formula. Otherwise if you don't know about anything that, then we can calculate it by simply help of displacement and acceleration equation of the simple harmonic motion in this way. So now if we know the frequency of the oscillation, angular frequency of the oscillation, then what will be the time period? So as you know that time period of any oscillation, that is inversely, so that is reciprocal of the frequency. So time period, that is equal to 1 by n. So what will be its value? Its value will be 2 pi displacement upon acceleration. So this is the value of time period for any simple harmonic motion. So if we want to calculate the time period for the simple harmonic motion, we can calculate in this way. Clear? So these are the factors which are using to calculate the different properties of simple harmonic motion one by one. I am using this and I am just showing the calculations regarding to this. So next property is that how can we calculate the energy of simple harmonic motion or energy of particle during the simple harmonic motion. Simple. So this is, suppose we want to calculate first what is potential energy. So how can you define first potential energy? Potential energy can be defined as if we are displacing the particle by an application of force, then in the displacement of the particle, obviously we have to do some work, and that work is stored in the system, that is known as potential energy. So the work is stored in the system due to displacement of the particle, that is known as its potential energy. So how can we define it? Simple, that work will be equal to, suppose that we are displacing it by the small displacement. So if F force is using to displace it by the displacement dy, means if we there is any form and we are displacing it, So suppose that we are displacing it by dy and we are applying a force to displace it, then what is the work done during this process? That will be equal to F into dy, force into displacement. And if in the whole way we want to calculate it, then we have to just integrate it. F into dy. So if y is the displacement, total displacement during the work, then this formula can be written as in this way. So after, sorry, actually don't write it. As you know that F is given by the force is given by K into Y. Force is directly proportional to the displacement which we are making in the system. So suppose that if there is the possibility of displacement Y in the system, then F can be written as minus of Ky. Actually the displacement has always tendency to bring it in the opposite direction to the applied force. So I am not taking just as minus sign, but you can take that. And according to that you can calculate the work done in the system. That will be negative, means it will be always in the opposite direction to the direction of application of force. So if we put this value, so what will we get? That is Ky dy. So after solving it, we can calculate easily what will be the work done in the process, or what is the work done while displacing any oscillatory particle by a displacement y. So the final work done is obtained in this system, that is W equal to Ky dy, and after integration from 0 to y you can integrate. Obviously this displacement will start from 0 and maximum displacement, suppose that it can go to y. So half K y square. So this is the work done during the system to displace a particle by the application of any force on it. And obviously this work done will store in the system as the potential energy. So finally the potential energy of the system, that will be equal to W, that is equal to half K y square. So this is the elastic potential energy, as you have already studied about it. So simple you can say that in case of oscillatory motions, in case of oscillations, there is an elastic potential energy stored in the system, that's value is equal to half Ky square. And this potential energy can have the tendency, means its value will vary in accordance with its displacement. Like if displacement is 0, means at equilibrium position, at mean position, y will be 0. So at that point this value will be also 0. Means in any oscillatory or vibratory motion, particle will always the potential energy is 0 at the equilibrium position once it will displace from the its equilibrium or mean position. And if we take the extreme points, that is the displacement equal to amplitude of the motion, y is equal to a, then at that point what will be the potential energy? That will be equal to half K a square. Okay. So this is the maximum potential energy of the system, because this is maximum possible displacement of the system. So we can easily say that at extreme position the potential energy will be maximum, and at equilibrium position, at mean position, potential energy will be minimum, that is equal to 0. So there is a variation in potential energy from equilibrium position to extreme point continuously, and according to that, obviously if potential energy is changing, then kinetic energy will also change. And so the means the change should be in that way, the total mechanical energy must be conserved in the system. So let's see what is the kinetic energy that is obtained in the system. So as you know that kinetic energy, that is given by half mv square. So we have the value of velocity already. So what is the value of velocity? That is m root a square into y square. Clear? Sorry, not m. If we see the velocity formula, that was a cos omega t. In place of cos omega t, we can put this value, and after solving it, we will get a into omega. We will get finally what is omega a square minus y square. So in place of b square, we can put this value, and finally we obtain y square a square into this. So this is the kinetic energy in the system of simple harmonic motion, and also in this way we can also calculate what will be the potential. Obviously we have calculated, what is the value of potential energy, that is half k y square. So this is the kinetic energy obtained in the system, this is the potential energy obtained in the system, and you can also calculate at equilibrium position what will be the kinetic energy, at extreme positions what will be the kinetic energy. So at equilibrium position, as y is equal to 0, mean position y displacement is 0. In that case, as you are seeing, the value will obtain half m omega square a square. This is the maximum possible value which can obtain in the system of simple harmonic motion. So at mean position, at equilibrium position, kinetic energy will be maximum. And also at extreme positions where y is equal to a, y is equal to its amplitude. So in that condition, if you put this a square here, then its value will be 0. So finally kinetic energy at extreme positions will be 0. So if we sum these two energies, kinetic energy and potential energy, so we see that its sum is always a constant. Means where the kinetic energy is 0, where the potential energy is maximum, where potential energy is 0, kinetic energy is maximum. And also between mean position and extreme points, kinetic energy and potential energy will both observed in the system, and they will vary according to their values. So we can add them and we can obtain easily what will be the total energy of the system. So next is total energy. So total energy can be written as kinetic energy plus potential energy. So what is the value of kinetic energy? That is half m omega square a square minus y square plus what is the value of potential energy? That is half m y square. So after adding these two quantities, we will obtain half m omega square a square. So as we are seeing that in this term, m is constant, omega is constant, amplitude is constant in case of simple harmonic motion. So finally this whole value will obtain as constant in the equation. So in simple harmonic motion, at every point the total kinetic energy of the particle remains constant always. Means total energy of the system means mechanical energy will be conserved in this condition. It means that the force acting on the system, that was conservative in case of simple harmonic motion. So this is the ideal condition, so that's why force can be conservative, and if force is conservative, then its mechanical energy should be constant there, and we have proved it that mechanical energy will be constant in this case. So I think today whatever I have just explained about simple harmonic motion, that is clear to you. How can we explain the total energy of system, how can we explain kinetic energy, potential energy, and velocity, acceleration, time period, means all the properties of system, that is totally clear to you. So in next class we will see some graph between kinetic and potential energy and other things. So for today let's end the class here guys. Thank you.